Shalom, Kol Halayla, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. All praises be to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of His Son, and our Lord and Savior, Yahushai. Much respect and honor to the brothers that are doing the work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so, and pushing this gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered abroad, and double honors and respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Coming back at you with another lesson entitled, The Time of Threshing is Near. We're going to go into it. The harvest is approaching. The harvest is the end of the world, and the time of threshing is judgment, to reap the harvest, to save or redeem or gather the wheat, and to collect the tares of the wicked, and cast the wicked into the fiery flame, and to gather the wheat into the barn, which is the kingdom of heaven, redemption and deliverance. Let's go into the lesson. So the time of threshing is drawing near. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51. Let's start reading verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. Jeremiah 51, verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes. Their might have failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. This is describing the daughter of Babylon being burned with fire and her military being destroyed. So they're going to become as women, frightened, terrified, dismayed. Let's go to Jeremiah 51, verse 31. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. So this is talking about the messaging and reporting. And Babylon is going to fall, and that it's falling. It's being attacked. It's being torn down, and its foundation is falling. Let's go to verse 32. And that the passages are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. Just like ancient Rome, this great, massive kingdom is going to fall with great violence, great fear and terror. And the mighty men, which are the military, its soldiers, going to be afraid. Let's read it again. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 32. And that the passages are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. Let's go into that word reeds. This is describing Babylon being burned with fire. Reeds comes from the Hebrew
Strong's H98. Agam.
Troubled or muddy, gloomy. Pools, marshes, pool, pond, swamp, or reeds. Its water is being dried up. Lakes, ponds, rivers. What causes water masses to dry up? Nuclear fire, thermonuclear heat. That's what does that. Its water sources are being dried up. Let's read it again. Jeremiah 51, verse 32. And that the passages are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. Verse 33. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. This harvest is the end of the world, and that threshing is going to start with the arrows of the Lord, nuclear missiles that are going to be shot from the ends of the world. So that threshing is a time to judge her. And in agriculture or farming, you thresh the wheat to sift out the seeds of the wheat and separate the tares. So you're going to reap the harvest of the good deeds, and you're going to pluck up the weeds or the roots of the wicked. Let's read this again. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 33. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon, is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Let's go into that word, thresh. Threshing. You can Google this. Threshing the wheat. Beating it against the threshing board. Thresh comes from the Hebrew.
Strong's H, 1869. Darach. Darach.
Darech. Once again, the Most High is very poetic. So this means to tread down, to tread, march, to tread, bend, archer, bow, benders, to tread down. Babylon, America, is going to be trampled down underfoot. So that little while is describing the judgment of the wicked. Jeremiah 51, verse 33. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon, is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. So that little while is talking about the judgment of the wicked, the Edomites. Let's go to Psalms 37. Verse 10. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. That little while is referring to the Edomites that's ruling in the daughter of Babylon. Malachi 1 and 4. Esau, Edom, is the border of wickedness. So they are the wicked. Let's read it again. The book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 10. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. Let's go back to Jeremiah 51, verse 33. Through thy precepts I get understanding. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 33. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Let's keep going. We looked up that word thresh, means to bend, to tread upon, to tread down. They're going to be trampled down underfoot. Let's go to Jeremiah 50, verse 16. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest, the fear of the oppressing sword. They shall turn away one to his own people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. For these heathen and Gentile nations are going to try to flee back to their own countries, back to their own people, knowing that judgment is approaching. And this is also describing refugees or displaced persons. Let's read it again. Jeremiah 50, verse 16. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest, for fear of the oppressing sword. They shall turn every one to his own people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. The other nations. So judgment is approaching for the wicked deeds done to the Most High's chosen children, the children of Israel. What is this sower? Farming, agriculture. Let's look it up. Food shortages, famine, a crippled agriculture. Go into that word sower.
Strong's H 2232. Zareh. Zareh.
Zareh. To be sown, producing, or yielding seed. This is talking about the agricultural industry here in America. Is going to be crippled, brought down, or rendered ineffective. So that is a battle strategy, a war tactic by the Spirit of the Lord. Jeremiah 50, verse 16. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest, for fear of the oppressing sword. They shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. The king of Assyria hath devoured him. And last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, hath broken his bones. This king of Babylon is an office, a seat, and everything is reincarnated. So the current king of Babylon is Edom, Esau. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land, as I have punished the king of Assyria. See? So that king or king of Babylon is an office, a seat, and it's currently being occupied by the daughter of Babylon, Esau, Edom. Let's go to Matthew. What is this harvest? We're going to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 13. The book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 36. Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. So Yahushua spoke in parables, dark sayings, so that only the hopeful elect can understand. So this truth is targeting the hopeful elect, or the wheat, to be saved or redeemed. Verse 36 again. Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. So this seed, or this truth, is being ingrained into the minds of the hopeful elect of the remnant of the house of David, a 1/3 of Israel. 2/3 are going to be cut off and die. Verse 38. The field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. So the tares start with Esau, Edom, but also included in that number are the 2/3 Israelites that are going to be cut off on this side. But the wicked one represents the Edomites. They also have a 2/3 segment or portion of Israelites that are going to be judged on this side. Verse 38 again. The field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. Well, you have 2/3 Israelites following the wicked, and you have the wicked, the Edomites. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. Verse 30, let's go to verse. So once again, when we're talking about a harvest, what are we talking about? Judgment Day. Judgment Day is twofold. Reaping the wheat, gathering the wheat into the barn, and also cutting down the tares, the wicked, and the 2/3 Israelites, followed by the heathen and Gentile nations, whose lot is to be judged. So they're going to be cut down and burned. That's going to be the judgment of Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahushua. And the 1/3 elect are going to be redeemed and are going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Let's go back to the lesson. Verse 39 again. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of the world. Well, that fire is going to come by the onset of nuclear war, Armageddon. So that judgment is going to turn Lady Liberty into a lake of fire, molten heat, and hot liquid rock. All the elements are going to be burned with fire. Verse 40 again. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of the world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. For this end of the world comes with judgment. The winepress is going to be pressed. That means crushed. So the wicked are going to be burned with fire. They're going to be slaughtered as grapes in a winepress. Let's go to Revelations 14. Verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahushua. Let's read it again. Revelations 14, verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High in the faith of Yahushua. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. So you're going to be rewarded for your works, repenting and coming to this truth, making yourself a living sacrifice for the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Let's go into the end of the world, the reapers. And we read that the reapers are the angels. Revelations 14, verse 14. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. So that's Yahushua coming back with a chariot. And that sickle represents judgment. Verse 15. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. So those whose lot is set to be judged, burned with fire. The time is coming. Those are the hopeful elect. The time of redemption is near. Salvation for your works. So we're going to be saved by grace, being preordained before the foundations of the world, being selected to be chosen to be amongst the hopeful elect. So we're not going to be saved by our own deeds alone, but faith with our works coupled with grace. Let's read it again. Revelations 14, verse 15. And another angel came out of his temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. So wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, so that time of the end of the world is ready. So we are near. Let's go to verse 16. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped, judged. Verse 17. And another angel came, the book of Revelations, chapter 14, verse 17. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle, And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. So the elect are the grape clusters, the fine grape cluster that's going to be saved. And the 2/3 represent the tares, or the weeds, along with the wicked, followed by the heathen and Gentile nations, whose lot is to be judged. Go to Revelations 14, verse 19. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it unto the great winepress of the wrath of the Most High. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. So this place is going to be filled with bloodshed, that if you were to stack the blood level up, it would reach the horse's saddle. So this place is going to be littered with bloodshed. So this is a parabolic expression, as grapes being treaded down or pressed together in a wine press, that represents judgment, which is a similitude of massive bloodshed. Matter of fact, let's prove that. So that judgment starts with the 2/3 Israelites, followed by the wicked, the Edomites. And that wine press, or the grapes, are the people. Let's go to Isaiah 63. The book of Isaiah, chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. So he's coming back in the greatness of his strength. That's with the fleet of the chariots, the so-called UFOs. This is describing Yahushua coming back with a big bang, traveling with a fleet or host of armies. Verse 2. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. So that bloodshed, or grapes being crushed in the wine press, is parabolic talk, judgment, a great massacre on the earth, by Yahushua coming back to judge the earth in righteousness. Well, that wine press is talking about a massive judgment of violence, massive bloodshed. So the earth is ripe. Wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth. So the earth is ready to be judged. And the hopeful elect, or the remnant, are ready to be redeemed, because Israel is waking up in massive numbers. So it's time for Yahushua to come and reap the harvest, to gather the grapes together. His elect. Revelations 14, verse 18. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. Those set to be judged, and those preordained to be saved. So that harvest is going to separate the wheat from the tares. The wheat are the elect of Israel that's going to be saved. The tares are the wicked, and the 2/3 Israelites, followed by the other heathen and Gentile nations. Verse 19. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of the Most High. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. So this is massive judgment. Let's go to Matthew 15, verse 13. So the earth is going to be riddled in blood, and it's going to look like wine that's been prepared. Bloodshed, red wine, parabolic talk. Matthew 15, verse 13. Well, this is Yahushua speaking. But he answered and said, Every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. See? So the tares are going to be rooted up and burned. The wicked, followed by the 2/3 Israelites following the wicked. The wicked is Esau, Edom. And then he has a list of cohorts, allies, that are going to be burned with him. But the fine grape cluster of the 1/3 elect are going to be saved. So the fine grape cluster represents elect of Israel. Matthew 15, verse 13. But he answered and said, Every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. So what's going to happen to the wicked? Let's read about it. Job 21, verse 30. That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. See that? So that wrath is being trodden down in the wine press, crushed in the wine fat, where blood is going to be sprinkled out. Parabolic talk calling it wine. That wine is bloodshed. In this context, sometimes wine can represent false philosophy. But in this context, it's talking about bloodshed. The grapes being crushed. Let's read it again. Jeremiah 21, verse 30. That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. So we read, yet in a little while, they're going to be judged. So in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, Yahushua is going to come as a thief in the night. That's why I think we read, yet in a little while, the wicked shall not be. Let's go to Job 37. Job 37. No, it's supposed to be Psalms 37. Excuse me. I think it's 10. See? Here we go. Psalms 37, verse 10. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. So the wicked, the tares, and the 2/3 Israelites are going to be burned. They're going to be judged and burned with fire. Let's go to verse 9. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. Well, that's talking about the 1/3 elect that are going to be saved from the judgment or the said perils on the earth. Let's go to Psalms 24, verse 4. He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. So this pure is talking about those preordained to be saved by election of grace, chosen. Let's read it again. The book of Psalms, chapter 24, verse 4. He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who have not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully, he shall receive the blessing from the Lord, and the righteous from the God of salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. So this is the generation. We're living in it right now. You're seeing the prophets being raised up and are in massive numbers around the earth, prophesying, preaching, teaching, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we're in that generation right now. We're seeing it firsthand, prophecy play out. Let's read it again. Book of Psalms, chapter 24, verse 6. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. Let's go to verse 5. He shall receive the blessing from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. So we're seeing this generation. Prophets, apostles, we're seeing them prophesying out on the streets and are teaching every single day and going out to the highways and byways, prophesying, teaching, preaching. Let's close out here. So the time of Babylon to be threshed or judged is drawing near. Let's go to Joel 3, verse 13. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. See that? So when it's talking about put ye in the sickle, for the earth is ripe, that we read in Revelations 14, that means wickedness have reached its threshold. Wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth. Let's go ahead and get that, because I keep saying it. I think it's 2 Ezra 15, somewhere around verse 5 or 6. If I'm not mistaken, sometimes I'm all screwed up. Excuse me. 2 Ezra 15, verse 5. The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. See? So the harvest is ripe. The earth is ready to be judged. We are right at the door. The time of playing games is over. Let's read it again. 2 Ezra 15, verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So we read that. And where? Revelation 14. Let's go back to verse 18. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. That means wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth. So this place is ready to be judged. And the daughter of Babylon is ready to be threshed. That means beat to powder, burn with fire. Go back to Joel 3, verse 13. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near. Say what? For the day of the Lord is near. Say what? For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. So the day of the Lord is talking about this valley of decision, which really it starts in the Middle East. But that judgment is going to reach over to the daughter of Babylon, America. The valley of decision is Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh-Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment or decision. Yahweh, the Most High's name. Yahweh-Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment or decision. So these multitudes is talking about bodies, dead bodies, and massive bloodshed. Let's read it again and close out. Joel 3, verse 14. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. So this place is going to be covered with blackness and soot from the massive devastation of nuclear missiles and thermal destruction, thermal heat, nuclear fallout. So the time of threshing is near. Let's read that again and go ahead and close out. And we noted that threshing represents judgment, or the harvest, which is the end of the world. Jeremiah 51, verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Excuse me. Let's read it again. Verse 33. Well, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. So that harvest is the end of the world, which marks the end of an age, the end of a rulership under Edom. The children of Edom are ruling in the daughter of Babylon. Hopefully this lesson has been edifying. All praises to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahushai, B'Hashem, Rekakadash. The time of threshing is near. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Shabbat Shalom. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharala and Abad Babal. We got next, Lord willing. Shalom, Barakatham.